Welcome back to the IPA hashtag She's IPA and the Policing TV collaboration on highlighting women in policing and police women in International Police Association. We are today speaking with Hannah Wheeler about her own police background and also her membership now in IPA. So Hannah, you are today an IPA member, and you contribute quite a lot to IPA from my perspective, what I can see from Sweden and when I met you in London. So can you please tell us why you joined and what your thoughts about IPA is?
Thank you. I joined actually because a very, very dear friend of mine that has since retired from policing said to me, you know, this would be fantastic, and she was organising events for the IPA, organising groups of students to come across and learn about policing, and it just seemed what a fantastic opportunity for us to share good work, good practice, but also develop understanding between countries, build connections, you know, networks, which are so important when you're a woman in policing. You know, building that network. You know, having people, you know, mention your name in a room full of opportunities. You know, if you're not there, identifying that something you might be good for. You know, a really good role. And I remember looking after some Swedish students for actually and arranging to show them around Ealing Police Station, and they had a fantastic input from one of our teams that were dealing with drug-related crime, and it was just absolutely fascinating. And got to meet you, of course, my Brit, which has been transformational for me. You know, bringing me into contact with, you know, really inspirational women. And I just thought, what a good opportunity. There are so many development and learning opportunities that are available through the IPA that people aren't aware of. So we really need to, you know, spread the word, and, you know, make sure that people are aware of those opportunities. So I have a team of officers that work for me called career development leads, and they are all, I've given them all the information about the IPA, and they go off and speak to people around the Met and, you know, give them the information about how useful it is. And I did a talk last night to the Italian Staff Support Association, and I was talking about the IPA, and there was actually someone was already a member there, but I was saying about the opportunities, you know, just the language opportunities as well, the chance to speak to people in your own language. Yeah, fantastic. But I've met so many inspirational women through the IPA, and some men as well, but really, you know, people I wouldn't have met ordinarily.
No. Well, IPA is a lot about how to recruit and also when it comes to retention of members. And you is obviously a very good recruiter for us right now, and that's very good. And this is also an issue when it comes to recruiting and also retention of police officers and particularly police women to keep them in the profession. Is there something that you think about that is today a success in the Metropolitan Police when it comes to recruitment and retention that also could be useful for the International Police Association if you combine those two? What do you think about that?
We have worked really hard to recruit women. We have female recruiters on our outreach teams that go out into communities and talk about the benefits and positives of being a woman in policing. We really stress now the flexibility that you have. You can join and train and be a part-time officer from the word go. It used to be that you joined and did your training on a full-time basis, but we realised that actually we want to recruit all types of different people, and they'll be at different points in their lives where they maybe can't work full-time. So that flexibility is really important. We now train people and give them police degrees and qualifications so that actually they've got something really tangible that's really positive that would incentivize them to join. We have really good internal networks as well, and our trainee detective constable program where you join without having been a uniform officer, but you join as a detective, has been really attractive for women. A
Mm.
really good offer.
Mm.
There's some women with fantastic skills that might not want to be a uniform officer, but would love to be, an investigator. We've also just launched last week something called Stay Conversations, which is where if people are thinking of leaving policing, they're feeling a bit disillusioned, there's problems that they can't seem to overcome in the workplace, they can request a conversation with one of my career development leads, and they get to speak to them very quickly within 48 hours and have that conversation around what it is that is bothering them, what the problem that they've got, or you know anything really. And
Mm.
then they have a really good talk with a career development lead. If there's anything locally that officer can unlock for them or sort out or try and you know really support with,
Mm.
it's been really effective in retaining people and preventing that attrition, because quite often it will be someone wants to work flexibly but their pattern doesn't meet the business need, so they
Mm.
can work with the career development lead to just tweak it and change it slightly so that it does, and then we retain that person. um, and
To,
everyone goes
to,
through sort of ups and downs in their career, don't they,
yes.
where they think,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not sure if this is for me, and just
Mm.
having a supportive conversation with somebody at that point could make all the difference.
Yeah. Do
Mm.
you think that something like that would work within IPA? That people that are not certain about joining or keeping their membership,
Mm.
do you think that such a conversation would be some kind of successful?
Oh, definitely. I think so, yes, because some people, you just get caught up sometimes in life, don't you? And then
Mm.
you think, oh, maybe have I got time to do the IPA?
Mm.
Maybe I'll have a break from it, when actually a talk with one of us could be, don't think about leaving at the moment. We've got these opportunities coming up.
Mm.
We've got these events, because there are local events as well in regions that
Yes.
are really fantastic. There's dinners and sports events and all sorts of things. So
Mm.
yeah, I think so. Just a
Yeah.
reminder of what we can offer would be good.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because when we think about IPA, it's not a work. Uh, well, it's work connected so far
Mm.
that you are employed by the police or
Mm.
retired from the police if you would like to be an IPA member. But this is our free time. It's
Mm.
a kind of hobby
Yeah.
activity that you do, but there are
Mm.
so many different pillars within it. And I think that, as you say, it's important that you highlight different
Mm.
possibilities depending on where you are in your life circle,
Yeah.
because depends on if you're young and you would like to do sports, of course that could be an attraction.
Mm.
If you are in the middle of trying to be promoted, our professional pillar might be that more
Yeah.
suitable for them. And when you come to a little bit later in life, it might be
Mm.
as you mentioned, those functional dinners or the friendship weekends, and this
Mm.
kind of place where you can meet people could be something that could be highlighted and also as a reminder for them.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
those conversations, or those sort of mentoring
Mm.
relationships that you can develop with people that have done all sorts of wonderful things through their careers.
Mm.
It might remind you of, just how many benefits the IPA has to offer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Course, both in policing and also in IPA, we need to work according to possibility of diversity, equality, and
Mm.
also feeling of inclusion. Otherwise, as you say, then you might need this kind of conversation.
Mm.
Really
Yeah.
interesting to see. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing us about what you think when it comes to IPA membership and also possibilities that can be taken from
Mm.
the police profession work into the IPA
Mm.
as a way to recruit and retain
Mm.
members. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we are talking with Hannah Wheeler, about her membership of IPA, and we've been speaking also a little bit about her professional part. And for Policing TV, this is of course very interesting when we share the hashtag She's IPA. Thank you for listening.